All right.
There we go.
You good? You set?
We're trying to think of how to not make this awkward, but it's kind of our MO at this point.
Yeah.
It's our shtick. We
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
just have to now.
All right, well, we already kind of got the awkward intro take out of the way, so it doesn't feel right. But hey, everyone. So we're here with a new guest, Garrett from CanCube,
Hey.
Canada's original cube store. Isn't that your
It's
slogan?
true. That is true. That's the slogan.
Yep. So, might be wondering what this guy is doing here, and we've been hinting on Canada and Australia stuff a lot lately, so we might have a certain Aussie. That's an appropriate term, right? Might have
Let's hope it
somebody
is.
reigning from Australia here pretty soon, so we'll see on that. But yeah, so I guess we'll just start off by saying it's crazy that you're here. I think you're the first cube store owner that we've ever had
Yeah.
on, definitely on this for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe on the channel.
Yeah.
Right? Other than you.
That's
Well,
exciting.
Yeah, so
Right on. I'll take
it's cool. But yeah, we've always been on good terms.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, I talk with some cube stores cube store owners more than
Yeah.
others. But yeah, so I guess why don't you tell us what you've been thinking about Vegas and just being here at all?
that. Dude, it's wild.
Yeah.
That's like the only way I can put it is it's wild. Vegas itself is larger than life. That threw me off. I didn't expect it to be so
Yeah.
crazy. Like I knew it would be.
It's a shame you didn't fly
Flashy.
in at night because when you
Yeah.
fly in at night,
Yeah.
well, when you fly out, you'll get a really good view of just
See everything.
It's super cool. And like now with the MSG Sphere, it's super.
It's weird.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
You might be able to see it from the walkway into the airport.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it like a weird like emoji or something, like a giant
They do all
face?
kinds of stuff. It's funny
Yeah.
because someone captured a video when someone was golfing, and they right when they hit the ball. I'm thinking about it; it might have been faked, but I don't think it was. But like
Probably not.
when the ball was flying, the emoji like
Watched
followed
it.
it. But it's trippy, and they do all kinds of cool stuff with that.
Yeah, no, that thing's really cool. And I mean, like, that's just one item of the list of crazy things because we went for a drive down, remind me what it's called.
Strip.
Down the strip, yeah, the Vegas Strip. And just like a brief drive was
Yeah.
overwhelming. I
Yeah.
was saying to Cameron, like, there's a lot to take in at once. But
Yeah.
no, dude, it's wild to be here. I'm super stoked that we were able to,
Yeah.
get together and make this work.
Well, your flight got canceled twice in a row.
Dude, Canada weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad, man. It's the 1 week we choose.
I know.
Double
It
snowstorm.
worked out though, like we said, 2024 has been like the year of positivity and just even though this week has been exceptionally chaotic, like of course the 1 week that you're here is just the week where like
Yeah.
so many things are just going wrong. But
Yeah.
it's just kind of rolling with the punches, you know?
Yeah.
That's what
But
you got to do.
But hey, we had some chilies earlier, so we're feeling good.
Feeling great.
Second night in
Yeah.
a row. But yeah, so on the note of side note, Veronica thinks we should do a cube advertisement on the Sphere, which that'd be really cool,
would
but
be
probably
cool.
cost like tens of thousands of dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
So
You know,
It'd be cool.
we'll see. Need to up the marketing budgets
fit
a
it
little
into the
bit.
budget. Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess I mean, I don't know. I don't even know where to start because there's so much to like dissect here and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I will say like what we're working on together is pretty wild. I don't know. Like Speed Cube Shop is the first store I think to go international
Yeah.
and like have like a straight up like branch that isn't like a franchise or something. Like it's
Right.
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. And it's yeah.
It's
Making
pretty
some power
intense.
plays.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like, that changes the game in a lot of ways. Like, it's revolutionizing the market in a very good way. It's going to help a lot of people.
The weird thing is we were talking about Alex Keats, who was the founder of CanCube.
Yep.
I spoke with him maybe 5 years ago at this point,
That makes sense. Yeah.
and maybe 6 years ago now. And yeah, we were talking about doing what we're going to be doing, and it's just crazy that back then the timing wasn't right. And just to be here now is like it's pretty surreal, and it's cool that Alex is still involved.
Yeah.
And, he kind of
Yeah.
meet him when I go up there and stuff.
100%. Yeah, we
So-
got to get you and Alex to meet.
Yeah.
No, that was very surreal. It's something me and Alex have noted over. So he ran the company roughly 5 years. I actually want to say 5 years on the dot, and so did I.
Wasn't it E3 Cube Store originally?
Started as So as far as I'm aware, it started as E3 Cube Store way back.
But see, I don't want to contradict what we just said because that was like a franchise or something, right?
That it was more like more like purchasing puzzles from another store and selling them. Like
Interesting.
not really interlinked. I think it was more of like using somebody as a wholesaler type thing.
Okay.
Unfortunately, like I wasn't around for that era.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, something we've noticed with both of our cycles of running CanCube is within those 5-year spans, we've experienced a lot of the same stuff, and it's just kind of freaky that same time twice we've talked to you about similar things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that, man. Yeah.
It's cool. But what I thought was interesting is, you mentioned that at Canadian comps, lots of people come up to you and like, didn't you say that they mistake you for us or something along those lines?
Yeah. I've had a lot of people come up and talk about customer support things, or like, oh, you guys were
Feel free to answer.
Yeah, no, you guys were great at email support. It's like, oh, we love SpeedCube Shop, and I'm like, wrong store, but like I'm glad they're helping. That's awesome. Yeah, I've had a lot of that, like people a little confused, but that's okay. I mean, it makes sense. You guys are pretty massive, so.
Well, I'm trying to think, like, we don't really get mistaken for other stores, but like a lot of stores kind of play this, like, it's really annoying, but they play this game where like they'll interject our name as keywords into their ads or on their SEO. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like saying don't hate the player, hate the game right now. That feels right. But it's just kind of like the way I look at it is if you're kind of deceiving customers or tricking them into thinking you're shopping with another store, you might want to like evaluate your branding or business.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like there was one time, like if you looked up a different cube store, like underneath like the link, it would say SpeedCube Shop USA.
Yep.
And it was like, I don't think you are.
Yeah.
Well, you know what sucks and is sadly ironic is that speedcubeshop.co.uk.
Oh yeah.
Like that was so annoying because this random Chinese seller just decided to go on a tirade with our domains, and for the record, you can't really just buy an international domain extension. You have to have some form of like documentation to say you're like a resident or you're incorporated over there or something like that. You can't just go buy like Australia domains and all this stuff.
Headache.
So they bought speedcubeshop.co.uk, but they operate out of China. I don't know how they got around that, but they did, and that caused some major headaches.
Oh, yeah.
But we ran a marketing campaign against them, rightfully so, and like lots of people in the community kind of stood up against that.
Right.
And now they're speedcubestore.co.uk, which I mean
isn't far off.
But it's funny that I now own that domain, but it's like I'm almost afraid to use it because it's like been drugged so badly that I don't want people to like go to it and then think we're the imposters.
Right.
But it's almost insulting when people mix up the stores because like they would just copy and paste descriptions and slogans and pictures they would steal, but like it was a pretty trash website.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, and I say that if you guys go to Wayback Machine and look at SpeedCube Shop version 1, that's a trash website. I had a donate button on there.
Dude, I remember, like, I think we looked it up probably a few months ago. I remember looking it up, and it was.
That's what a 13-year-old made.
I mean, to be fair,
a 13-year-old in 2008, because it went live in 09.
Wow.
But 08 tech was way different.
Very different. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I think a lot of websites kind of looked like that.
True.
True.
So to be fair, you were kind of like with the times.
Yeah. I was current.
Right. Exactly.
You look at early Amazon and like early eBay, that was just as brutal.
True.
So,
eBay was
You still kind of look at eBay and stuff.
Well. No, but on the topic of like shops stealing brand logos and things like that. That was something that scared me.
Really?
Cameron pointed this out when I came to Vegas. I was showing him photos of, we sponsored Canadian Champs, which I was telling you guys about.
Yep.
And that was out in British Columbia. But we have banners on the vending station, and it says Canada's original SpeedCube store. And I didn't realize how close that was to your slogan. And you brought that up, and I was like, thank gosh I put the Canada there, the SpeedCube store.
I mean, I get it. We have a generic name, but at the same time, it is.
I mean, it kind of helps us too, right?
Yeah.
Because you look up SpeedCube shop, shop or store, or anything like that.
That's what a 13-year-old came up with. I was like, what's a good... Well, again, it all started with just sitting in front of a computer and we would build websites for fun. And like back then, the popular thing to do was to inject forums and like little mini games into these like
Right.
janky websites. And so
Yeah.
I was like Speedcube shop, but I get it to an extent. It's like when people use it clearly trying to piggyback. That's when it's like, all right, come on, man.
There's a lot of that, unfortunately. It's kind of a shame that people can't come up with their own thing and do their own,
I try to
have
look at it
original
as
ideas.
flattering in a way.
Yeah, that is true. That's true.
But yeah, well, I mean, I guess I don't know. Like we've said a good amount, so I mean, I'll let you tell your rendition of kind of what we're cooking up over here. So just start from the top or wherever you want.
Yeah, I mean, where do I start? Are we talking
All the way from the beginning.
from the beginning?
That first fateful email.
Yeah.
I
that-
almost wasn't expecting a response, by the way. I don't know why, because had we emailed before, like recently?
No.
I don't think so.
No, we
I don't know
haven't.
why. I wasn't really partially expecting a response, but you were quick, so kudos to you on the response time.
Yeah, you caught me. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was doing inventory that night. I was like, it was a late office night. I was just chilling, doing counts, boring stuff. And I see an email come in, and I figure it's like a customer support thing, and I clicked it. And dude, that was like, I was floored, man. That threw me off because I saw Cameron Brown, and I looked down. I'm like, oh, somebody's using a fake name. And I had to double take, and I see the address for Speedcube Shop's email, and that caught me off guard,
Yeah.
dude. I remember I immediately took a screenshot and sent it to Alex. I was like, what could this be about? That's
Because
pretty
he
wild.
told you that we spoke in the past
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He actually.
beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay.
He kind of predicted a little bit. He didn't tell me much. He's like, but he said you guys spoke about some
Yeah.
similar things, and
Yeah.
and that guy's got a good business sense.
Yeah,
But
he's a good guy.
Anyways, so we had that email. I don't know. I think I responded back the same night or something
Yeah.
like that. And
Got a meeting set up.
Yep. Yeah. And then when was that? Probably about a month ago, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got the meeting set up, and dude, I don't know. It was. You're gonna have to help me with my memory a little bit because so
pretty
much went on.
The gist of it was, I've been doing a lot of thinking, and honestly, this last Black Friday holiday season has just the international shipping is just such a thorn in my side because we have a lot of international customers. It's great. We love you guys. But man, customs is just rough.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like I don't know. It's hard. People don't understand the process. They
Yeah.
blame you. You look bad. Like that's the worst when you take the heat
Yeah.
for someone else's issues or
Right.
whatever. So, long story short, I've been wanting to go into business in another country for a long time now, and I finally just decided, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And so I thought, okay, Garrett's cool, Alex was cool. I've always been on good terms with CanCube.
Appreciate it.
So like, let me just reach out to them and see if there's any room to work together versus just coming in and like competing against each
Yeah,
other and
and-
having to do that.
That was super cool, actually, because it's, you see a lot of times in business, especially big business, people come into markets and just without thought of, who's in the market, who's operating, the other businesses, like the business relationships. And that was super cool and unexpected to have you reach out and, want to collaborate rather than, kudos to you. That was like a show of
appreciate
character.
it.
But yeah, no, that was super cool. And I mean, after that first meeting where you kind of pitched the idea, to me that made the most sense because when you think about it, it's a best of both worlds situation.
Well, I
right?
think we have to back up. So originally the idea was
Oh yeah, I guess
that
that's true.
I was going to partner with Garrett on something, and then through conversation, Garrett just made me an offer to just acquire CanCube, and that's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
dual wielding the Cube stores now.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like a first in the market ever, right?
I don't know. I
Acquisition?
think so, but and I mean, the more we've spoken and stuff, like I'm really happy, and I don't want to speak for you, but like we've established that it's a good situation for both ends. Like,
Yeah.
I think you're in a better situation, and lots of growth opportunity for both sides,
Huge.
and it's cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
again, getting to make like a new like friend circle out of the whole thing is cool, and just
cool.
having more contacts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
No, meeting everyone here was super cool. You've got a great team.
Yeah,
you know,
no, they're
and,
awesome.
just it was nice getting to meet everyone and put faces to names that I'd heard before. And it's like I was saying when we sat down here, it feels very bizarre getting to sit in the area where, you know, I was like watching YouTube videos of you guys doing things. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, no, the whole like even not just from like a business perspective, but from a customer standpoint, I mean, I'm very excited to help customers out because one big thing, I mean, and that's a similarity between SpeedCube Shop and CanCube, is like you started it because there was a problem in the market and people were kind of getting messed with by overseas suppliers and things like that. And I always wanted to help out the Canadian market where I could. And now, you know, it's going to be a lot better service and a lot more things offered to people. And I'm super excited for people to benefit from that.
No, it'll be sweet because
Yeah.
that's kind of my whole. Yeah, I hadn't really thought of it that way. Yeah, it's like I guess I just have this instinct that like when there's an issue, I'm not really the type of person to just kind of like, okay, that sucks, and just
Right.
let it
Yeah.
be. So sometimes it can nip me in the butt, but just because it goes down these crazy rabbit holes of more problems. But
Right.
yeah, I'll tell you, this is all happening over the holidays and stuff, and year-end stuff is already crazy as it is. Christmas rush, and yeah, it just was really like weird. Like when you first made that offer, I was like, man, I mean, yeah, it guess makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and it's cool too because now that you're here, you know, we're able to like teach you how we do things, get you all
Yeah.
trained up. I'll be coming back to Canada with you here shortly, and
Yep.
we'll do that. I mean, it's
That's gonna be
crazy
a
when you
cool
think
trip.
about it, how much we've accomplished in a short amount of time with getting this whole thing thrown together. Like you've been a
Yeah.
huge help, being up in Canada, and yeah, it's crazy. Like I don't think it really would have worked as well had I just been. I mean, I don't know. I would have had to be over there myself.
Yeah.
and it's cool.
There was a
So,
lot of moving parts. And something we were saying as well is like a month's gone by or over a month's gone by and it feels like it's just disappeared. I mean, there's been so much going on and it's gone by so quick. Even this past, you know, my stay here in Vegas is like, pretty sure I just landed yesterday,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
So
It is crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
So how do you feel about the stuff you've learned this whole week? I mean,
Yeah,
we kind of rocked your
Yeah.
world, man.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
interested in hearing about the training because, you know, I've done a lot of the stuff that you've
Yeah.
done. You've done a little bit of like other stuff, you know, as, you know, former business owner type of thing.
Yep.
But, you know, I did a lot of the stuff that you learned, you know, like when it comes to like, you know, how to handle inventory and stuff like that. So I'm interested to hear like your perspective on it because I came in as a nobody of sorts. So
Well, so and we said this as well. Like one of the main things right away. So to preface, it blew my mind how you guys like did things here. It's very different from how I expected it. It's a very well done system, and coming from the way I did things, you know. Keep in mind, CanCube was a company in my basement for 2 years.
I remember those days all too well.
Yeah, you get that, right? So it's a different sort of functional disorganization, I guess. And coming from that sort of, you know, system and the habits that I formed, it was to start definitely a learning curve. You know, I'm trying to break old habits that I had.
Yeah.
And because it's, you know, it's done in such a way that you don't exactly have to be, like, you don't have to know every in and out about cubes, right? Like, you figure it out as you're here, and it's a very good learning environment in that sense. And it's hard to put into words. It was just very efficient and fun to learn, and breaking habits was a bit
cool.
difficult. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, you've been hard on yourself this week, but it's a lot of change because,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm a processes kind of guy. I
Yeah.
enjoy improving things, and
Yeah.
I guess just have learned. It's kind of validating because no one really, like, aside from one of our people here, has been around to see those like really old days
Yeah.
from like
Yeah.
let me think, how many years would that be? Like 8 years ago.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, it's interesting to get a perspective like yours that has seen both sides of it to kind of validate that, yeah, like all the work paid off. Because, man, I've spent months
Yeah.
of just trial and error and
Oh, yeah.
lots of expensive mistakes
Yeah.
and just
Well, even like, sorry to cut
No,
you
no,
off, but
no.
even like here, seeing the hours that we worked just prepping stuff this week and is crazy. I was saying back when I was running CanCube, I would have my late nights and I'm thinking, oh, man, I got to be the only guy up right now. Like, oh, this is I'm working so hard, and I came here and it's like, oh, dude, you've put in some hours, man.
I don't even know if I should be proud of that because it's like it's not really good in a way.
I think
but
it's almost comes down to like that's the kind of dedication we're putting into it.
Yeah.
As opposed to being like, oh, we have to work. Because realistically, I think we function well enough to where we don't absolutely have to put in these like late hours. It's more of like, oh, there's like these things we want to improve on. Let's just do it now. Let's like crank it out. Let's put in a few extra hours and
yeah, I
get
mean, what
it
time
done.
is it? It's 8:00 right now on a
8:00.
Friday night. We
Yeah.
could be out down at the strip showing you the casinos and stuff. And
No, we've been brainstorming a lot too. It's been a lot of thinking and, I mean, mainly like efficiency stuff, right? That's what I've seen. Is you
I
guys
checked my phone for a second, checked the time, and already another problem. I'm like, dude, it's crazy how just, man. Yeah, I don't know why I bring this upon myself because definitely operating in another country is not going to be making my life any easier.
Right.
No,
So-
it'll be a new experience.
You're
that's for
lucky you
sure.
get to do all the fun stuff, and we get to still do all the back end stuff that isn't as fun.
Yeah, I'm getting it's a good deal. It's
I'm
gonna be
excited
cool.
to try poutine, Tim
Yes.
Hortons.
Yes, dude.
What else? Those are kind of the two Canadian things I know.
Yeah,
Maple
man.
syrup.
Maple
Thanks for the
syrup.
bottle, by the way.
Absolutely. I couldn't not bring one.
Yeah, it was appropriate. Veronica joked about it. Like, I hope there's maple syrup in here, and there actually was.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's and that's like there's a local farm near where we're opening up the shop too. So
Yeah.
that's straight from
Oh,
right
sweet.
from the trees, dude.
Cool,
which
man.
Is pretty cool.
Cool.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting getting you to try out. Timbits is gonna be huge. And then I also brought up, I don't know how many people know this. This is like I don't know, it's like a controversial thing when I bring it up with Americans.
Okay.
We have better Oreos than you guys. Like miles better.
I won't even debate it. I'm sure.
I'm very excited for you to try
Knowing
it.
how our like food and health department works, like I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
No, it's yeah.
Well, I love Oreos. I'm like a double stuff, take it apart and make it like a quintuple stuff.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's what you should do when you go to Canada. Just take a bunch of like our Oreos and like
Yeah.
do like we'll do a video. We can just make
Yeah.
like an Oreo
Blind
like,
taste testing,
yeah,
dude. Yeah, for sure.
Canada versus, or I guess, B-Cube Shop versus CanCube Oreos.
Yeah. Man, we'll see. We have lots of content to make up there,
Yeah,
but
a ton.
yeah, it's just, man, finding a building, not easy. I keep picking these hotspot places to relocate to that are really not making it easy. Like Vegas, near impossible to find a building.
Yeah.
Canada, near impossible to find a building.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got to figure out if we're going to take out, like, the previous tenants were, I don't even know how to describe what they were, but there's like this
Yeah.
graffiti all on the walls, but it's like art graffiti and
To their credit, right? Like as terrible as it looks in there, whoever did that art, like dude was talented. He had some dedication. I'll give him that.
it was very off-putting when he
Oh,
first
yeah.
FaceTimed me. Like,
First thing you said when I got on the FaceTime call with you was like, you went, can you confirm there's no way into the building? Like, why is there graffiti in
I thought the
there?
people just like broken. Because I will say some of the buildings in Canada are wild, man. I don't think I told you this.
Yeah.
One of the buildings we were looking at is like a legitimate shack on somebody's property with like,
No, I think you did show me that one.
well, the heater is like logs that you
Oh,
like
no,
light
then
a
you didn't show
fire.
me that one.
And
No.
like,
Yeah.
it's just crazy out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the real Canadian experience. Chop a
Yeah,
few
and
trees.
it's not cheap either.
No,
It's not
no.
cheap.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, Canada's expensive. That's the thing. It's I don't know. We'll see. But I'm excited to get our products into Canada. I know we always spoke about like even the fact that you didn't sell our products. It's just it's a weird decision for us to decide if we want to like. It's an argument of like diluting the brand or expanding it because you're
Yeah.
reaching more people, but like, do we need to? And then it's just always weird because like, there's a store in Vietnam that like straight up copies our
Yep.
branding and like lubricants and all that
Right.
stuff. It's just like, I don't know. But
Yeah, no, it's a tricky thing to decide, but I think this one's what I like about this is it's not just a benefit of products and services, but it's also mainly for me. So something I got a lot of complaints about in Canada, given the size of our store as well, was shipping speeds and shipping times, right? And I'm sure you guys got that a lot up here too, is like, it's hard to cross the border. And for us, it was like, sure, it's faster with us, but it was costly. I mean, you're paying double whatever, around double the shipping cost of what SpeedCube Shop has. And it's like, you'd want to go to SpeedCube Shop, but then you're paying whatever on duties. So it's going to come in handy.
That's the thing, is like our rates to Canada right now are actually really good.
Yeah.
And it's just the time.
Yeah.
So like, I'm literally doing this just to improve delivery times to Canada, which
the
is
way-
like literally all that it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was gonna say I'm sure it'll work, but like, it better work.
Right.
I'm gonna be really upset if it doesn't work. So
I think it will.
yeah, it'll be really interesting though to see kind of how that changes. And I'm excited to like. I normally am not a traveling person, but I'm eager to go up there for the first time, hang out, go to comps up there.
Yeah.
We have what's that one coming up on the 18th?
I think we've got two. We've got the Greater Toronto Area Competition, which is, I believe, the biggest Toronto comp like ever hosted. So that's going to be really cool. Like 350 competitors or something in a day. That'll be super neat.
Yeah.
And then London the following weekend. So it's going to be, you're coming up there. We're assembling an entire warehouse. And then we're going to be off to two competitions.
Yeah, this
back to
guy
back.
told me like we're leaving at 4 a.m. I'm like, nah, man, nah, that's not happening. Like, we'll drive the night before. I'll fork up the hotel cost.
Yeah, that might
I
be
appreciate
better.
the grind, man, but
Yeah.
with the jet lag and how tired we're gonna be, that's
gonna be a
not
lot.
happening.
Yeah, and also one thing I didn't think about is the weather too.
Ooh.
Last thing you want is to get up at 4 and be snowed in, and you're like an hour away.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think I have clothing that's warm enough
Yeah.
for Canada.
Yeah, Cameron, he told me, he's like, dude, I might just give you a credit card and like go buy a bunch of winter clothing.
Yeah,
like, I
like-
don't know what's necessary
Yeah,
up there.
I need like full Eskimo gear like at the airport. I'm not sure how I'm gonna even handle, because I know it's Celsius, but like I was seeing like -3 degrees. I don't even know how to begin to like understand how cold that is.
Oh yeah, the way I described it is
I
like
don't even know what Celsius to Fahrenheit is.
It's a whole equation.
it's like something to do with 30.
Well, I'm just
I don't know.
wondering
32,
if
'cause
negative,
that's-
we get down to like 25 here at night.
Yeah, we don't get too low. Like when I lived in Iowa for a while, when I was going to college there, I think the lowest we got was, I could be totally wrong. I want to say it was like negative like 15. I think it was like, but that's Fahrenheit, so I don't know how that compares
Wow,
to Celsius.
that's
That
cold.
seems really cold.
That seems
no, it
intense.
was like we
You know,
like where I was, we
actually-
lived kind of like high up, so we got a lot of that like cold
Yeah,
air. So
mountain.
I went to Idaho, and kind of I don't remember how cold it was, but kind of a similar thing where like all I know is we'd get out to go out to dinner, and like you step foot out of the hotel, and it is just like kind of like it just hurts. It's
Yes,
like
yeah,
like
yeah.
a breeze comes, and it's just like you can't even breathe. It's so cold.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's exactly it. I was trying to explain the feeling to you guys because there's a couple people in the office who were saying like, "Oh, I love the cold. Like I'd much rather that than the heat." And it's like, intense heat sucks. Don't get me wrong.
It does.
But you can like walk into intense heat for a bit. You open the door in Canada, and it's exactly like you said. It hurts. You
yeah,
know,
it's like hard to breathe.
it's hard to breathe. It hurts. Your skin starts to like crack and bleed. It's
man.
just it isn't fun.
I
Yeah.
will say it looks cool though when you start getting like ice on your beard and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Like-
yeah. You're gonna have to
And-
grow a wicked beard for up there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do like Rocky 4 training montage. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting. I mean, luckily, I got this. I'm gonna have like a hot cup of coffee with me like all times.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
But yeah, no, it'll be crazy to see how this whole thing goes. So I'm excited to see the selection that we bring
Mm-hmm.
to Canada and then the comps. And I think that it's going to be what I'm most excited about is to go to a comp for the first time and just see if people even care
Yeah.
/ like recognize the fact that
Right.
like we're there.
Right,
It's
like
like
YouTube
very
shop
unexpected.
in Canada, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very weird. So
It's going to be interesting. I mean, if they were confusing me for you, I wonder if it's going to be either like, oh, yeah, that makes sense, or a complete shock. And it
Yeah.
can only go one of two ways.
well, you are
right?
surprisingly tall. Like most people are not.
Yeah. Pretty much everyone in the office except Cameron is like short. So like Cameron, I would say is like probably a good foot taller than I think the next tallest person. Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Like you're tall, man.
That is true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are all.
Yeah, we're all pretty short.
Yeah.
Cameron hires us so we can literally look down on us.
Well, it's nice to have to buy you guys like little step stools for like the racks.
We
and
have
stuff.
one. It's
Yeah.
hiding in the back there, just so I can reach like the camera.
Yeah. Well, that was actually another thing is like we kind of had to modify some of the training stuff because of the height difference. Like
Yeah.
with just I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff around the office. It's just there's a lot of differences based on that, man.
Yeah, there are. But well, cool. Well, we're excited. I mean, again, the beans have been spilled.
Yeah.
For those that are going to ask, when February 1st is when we start building everything out. So very early February.
Oh yeah.
Be on the lookout. It's going to be wild. So yeah, you'll just be shopping from speedcubeshop.com and then it'll ship from Canada if
on.
you're in Canada.
It's gonna be awesome.
So cool. Well, yeah, glad to have you here. We'll have to film more
Appreciate
in
it.
Canada.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I know you're nervous,
100%.
man, but I feel like it's just natural. Just
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
It's like between three ferns. We're just here to talk.
Yeah. That's 100%. I don't know what it is, man. I just get same with the CanCube YouTube. It's just like camera
Yeah.
shy. But this
It's tough.
this is good.
It's tough, but I've been doing it for a long time, so it's just kind of like I'm not even the best at it, but I think it's just kind of second nature.
natural. Yeah.
But cool. Well, thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. Way different perspective than normal. So let me know in the comments down below if you made it this far. And yeah, see you on the next one. See ya.
Peace.
Take care.